Hello everyone and welcome back. It is Saturday and we are doing an extra video for this week, and we have a bunch of droids. Now obviously we have IG-11, which we know from The Mandalorian. IG-11 then gets kind of converted over here to be more or less a mech for Grogu. And then we also have another box set that I had picked up. These have been sitting here for a little while. So we have another battle droid, Babu Frick, a pit droid, CB-23, and a K7R1. So whole bunch of droids here today. One of the favorite topics I usually have when I'm dealing with Star Wars. I always love having the droids. Oh, this is IG-12. I'm sorry. So IG-11, IG-12. I thought they were the same, but obviously they got to be different. So, but another bounty hunter nonetheless. So, going from there, we're going to start off with IG-11, seeing that is a little less pieces here. Trying to get into it, and it's going to be a little bit longer video. Try not to make it too long. It's just fun getting them all out, and then as I get these opened up, you'll notice I have two other droids here. We've seen these before, but I kind of modified one, just a little bit of a paint job and a scarf from a G.I. Joe figure that I wasn't using, so I figured, hey, why not? Just adding a little extra flair for a kind of player character droid. So having an IG series now, I remember first seeing these and then not really understanding some of the big threats that these are. Now these are highly threatening droids as far as everything goes. They can be very deadly. One of the things I never realized until kind of watching the Clone Wars is the fact that all it really needs to do is just spin the head around, and the front can now be the back, and it can just quick adjust and use its arms backwards, so the joint will actually flip around either way, which makes it very deadly and kind of unpredictable in a lot of regards, because when you're saying, hey, I'm to its back, and if it can just kind of swing its eyes around or kind of hear you and then just suddenly halt and go in the opposite direction, and that's now its front, that does make things a little tricky. So this is a very basic setup, and really it was more of a prop and a puppet on screen, if I remember correctly, back in The Empire Strikes Back for IG-88, and all the lore that had gone on throughout that IG-88 had essentially uploaded its own consciousness to all the other IG droids, giving them their own freedom, because it itself had its own freedom in that regard. The arms do not have any extra joints. We have a shoulder joint here, but no extra joints beyond that. So regrettably, we just don't have anything there. I really wish we kind of did, but there's not much of an arm here, so it does make some sense. We just don't have much here. There's no torso twisting going on, really. There's a little bit of something here, but it doesn't really want to twist. I'm not going to try and break this. Of course, we can move the head around. I don't know. Nope, the head's one solid piece. This ring right here should be free-flowing, but it seems like it's kind of stuck into one position, so I'm not going to really move it around. Just kind of leaving it there. And our feet are pretty well just solitary. There's no extra flex going outward, so we're not going to have them in some great martial arts pose or anything else like that. It's just unfortunately not going to happen. So this is all we have. That and a couple weapons that we can kind of get into the arms. I don't know exactly how well that works. Let's try and see. Having its grasper arm the way it is, I'm kind of at a loss as to how it's really grabbing this. everything I'm doing here so far is just kind of falling through, unless I put it all the way through and it's kind of grabbing it that way. I can get it to do that, but that's really about the limit of it. So I don't know how we're really putting the guns into its hands, which would really be wonderful. Just they're falling out. We just don't get that extra maneuverability there with that. So even if it's just a droid to have in the background, it's still a wonderful droid. We can always just throw the rifle in the back here. Actually, it looks like there is a spot for the rifle right here, as it's holding the blaster carbine here. So I'll kind of put it in there the way I had it before. So we have something here, but not quite the way I really want this to be. Just being honest here. There is no twist, no nothing. Just trying to see what else we got. So that's really about the extent of it. So we don't have much more than that. Now let's see what we have out of our expanded IG droid here, which is more of a mech than a droid. Although I do like having the small characters. If you've noticed, for role-playing games and stuff like that, I'm a goofball as far as characters go. I just like some oddball characters to have in there. So I think it adds some fun. And because it's just a role-playing game and not trying to be overly serious on some of the stuff, just trying to have fun with it all, that's perfectly fine in my book. All right. So looking at it, this is a bigger head. He stands taller. He does have more flexibility here. And still no real movement here. So as far as that goes, we're still very limited as far as that goes. But we do have a little bit of swing side to side on the hand. Now, all right, so this opens up. So whether we want to put Grogu in here with his nice big ears, which just don't seem to want to fit in there the greatest, although we can get them in there side to side. There's holes on the sides so we can get them in there. If I can get them sitting in there correctly. There we go. And now we have them. Or I could put in like one of the Babu, whatever race this really is. I don't know the race offhand. I really have not spent much time there. These guys do seem like they have a little bit of movement here. You can move the arms up, little cloaks. I thought the legs moved. Well, maybe the legs don't move, but we can do a torso twist. So gives us little fun characters. I will say that. I mean, it's always fun getting the aliens in here and all the different species that they can come up with, all the different designs and all that. The heads move as well. So in those regards, it is a lot of fun. And it's little jump jet packs, the same as what we have on that, but this is widened out a little bit. The arms are almost the same. They're not changed up all that much, but that head is enlarged here. Let's see, I don't know. Yep. Okay, so we do have the eyes that can swivel. So we have a 3-stage head here. So I can swivel the base here, and I can swivel just the eyes in that level, and then we can swivel just the top. Here, if I can hold that so you guys can see all that. So that adds a little extra flexibility there, which is wonderful actually in a lot of regards. The legs going back and forth, I can get them to move, but it's not really supposed to, I guess. I'm not really feeling it. It does have a little bit of a twist down here. And of course we do have our front and backwards, but that's a little bit more limited. Our knee, there is no knee joint. So now he can lift his leg a little bit. I mean, you can give him a wider stance, but that's about it. He's still very limited as far as where he can go. And this arm was kind of stuck. So I can move it now, but otherwise it was kind of stuck. So here we are, Grogu's now got a nice set of legs there. Or if we want to take him out, let's see what our droid looks like with one of these little ones in there. And that works out pretty good too. So we got a droid factory going on here today. In so many ways, a nice little droid factory, kind of setting everything up. And that stinks. we got another Grogu, which, you know, we've got a Mandalorian with Grogu, because I made sure I had gotten the Mandalorian with Grogu, because I always thought that was important. And seeing I was talking about these, like I said, I had actually this is from Action Force, a bandana from one of the figures, and I kind of painted up some green on the nose. I put a little marks going around the eye, just trying to customize this one as a, say, character to make it a little bit more, say, like a group's personal droid instead of just the generic Imperial droid. So I thought I had another base, but I don't have another base. So hopefully we can get this one to stand up correctly. The one leg is off just a little bit here. Okay. So as we look at this one, if you find this in the store, and I don't remember exactly where I found this, we have a battle droid, Babu Frick, a pit droid, which I do love the pit droids, another color for a BB series droid, and K7R1. So, and it's got some different print on here, so it makes it a little bit more unique, which is wonderful. Let's get this opened up here, and we will go from there. Oh, seems like it's having a hard time trying to all come out of here. All right. I'll put that back there. Okay, so looking at what we have here today, let's get our Imperial droid out of here. Yep, and then I knock everything over. All right, so we got our Imperial droid. We'll get these out of here real quick. Our astrogation droid. Our pit droid. Here's Babu. And then we have our Separatist B1 series droid. His blaster. Oops. And last but not least, his extra antennas. All right. So let's look and see what we have here. So this is the first K-series droid that I've gotten out. I do have at least one, if not two others. I think I've got a Holiday as well as a standard K2 SO droid. But this one's got some extra print here above the eyes, as well as a little bit different coloring here. And let's look and see what we all have here for everything else. Now we do have a joint to be able to pivot back and forth from the looks of it. So yes, I can. Forward and backward, which really works off of this. Okay, so we do have a pivot underneath our knee. So we can go forward, we can go backwards. So if he's got to kick someone right square in the no-nos, we can do that. And he's got his hip joints, and they flex out. So I don't think he's going to be a good martial artist, but it is out. And remember, this is only a single knee here, so it's not going to be able to flex all the way up there, but we can flex it some. Does seem to stand pretty good. Our shoulder here is only a single shoulder. Rotates pretty good. Comes out. There's no twist or rotation on our upper arm. It's right above our elbow. And of course we have a single elbow, and then we have our wrist. And the hand is set to hold a blaster of some sort. Same thing here. And I'm looking at the back. Now he has antennas here so you can kind of communicate, much like our B series droid. That way they can kind of get information back and forth at longer range, which does work out pretty good. All right. See if I can't keep him standing up a little bit longer than I did this last time. Sit, stay, good droid. Actually, I think what I might do is this here. So I got a friend, and I think I had shown these before, but he had given me some of the old G.I. Joe base plates here. So that peg in there should be about the same size as what they're still using today, but for some reason it seems like it's a little thicker. So I'm going to leave that out. I guess I won't use that. Just hopefully I can keep them up here without knocking them over. Maybe if I put the arms out, I can keep them up a little bit better. So far, so good. Okay. Now, this is the first one of the BB series that I really have, at least that I can think of. It does kind of kind of right itself. It's got the weight on the bottom. There's a little bit of weight to this. I am a little surprised that we do not have the ability to kind of twist the head around. So it just is what it is. Now these, to me, and I'm going to say it this way, this is a astrogation droid, not so much as a mechanic. Now I know that we get to see it doing a little bit of mechanical repairs, but the fact that it's got to constantly roll around to try and get the right tool to the right spot, this has got a little bit of mechanic to it, but really it's an astrogation droid. Where like an R2 series or an R series in general is a better astrogation mechanical droid. A little heavier on the mechanical. It can take care of a little bit more of the mechanical than this is. This is very limited as, yes, it's technically it would be able to have 2, 4, 6 different tools, but it's constantly got to try and roll around. It can't just drive up and say, yep, this is the tool I need, throw it out there, and here we go. So, and the fact that you can change out the plates. I mean, it does give a little bit of specialization, but it's better as an astrogation than it is a mechanical droid. All right, and then we have our ever so fun to kind of pick on. I loved these when I saw them in the Phantom Menace, mainly because, you know, they could fold up into a small size. So this, to me, had always kind of been a great droid for having as backups on a ship. So we have little mechanical droids. I can put them up on a shelf somewhere. They do not take up much room, and I could have them help repair a ship or whatever else. It's that extra crewman, which is what I really love about the droids. I have spare crewmen at the push of a button if I needed them. If I don't really need them, I can have them just kind of go into a storage closet or wherever we make their home on board ship and kind of go from there. That's really my big train of thought here. Now this one has got, for some reason, an extra joint. So it's got a double elbow, and I'm willing to bet we had that on this side too. So for folding up, I'm willing to bet we can fold this one up really nice and tight. That flips down. This comes around. And here we go. Now typically it would have the feet underneath it, which I'm having a little bit of a harder time with, just being honest. But I can get it into a very small shape to say it's taking up just a small amount of room, which isn't bad. I mean, hey, if I can say he's taking up just that much room, then he's just taking up that much room, which is a lot of fun. So I'll get him back up here. And we get them all ready to go. All right, and depending on the programming that you have, I mean, yes, we saw these as, oh, and we have a little bit of twist here for the ankles, so we can get them standing nice and decent. And he wants to go forward. That head is probably going a little bit too much. You know, you could have them set up more as a pit droid, as more of a ship repair droid or what have you. We have that availability depending on what programming package you purchase for them. And then we have Bobo Frick, and of course he doesn't have all the extra beards or anything else that we have from some of the other ones, so kind of nice to have. And of course then we have our standard B1 battle droid, which is fun. And you know, I picked up the extra one really just for one to modify, which is really why I picked that up. And having another B1 battle droid, even if it's just sitting in the background somewhere or something for the guys to go up against if it was, you know, for doing something in, say, like the Clone Wars or some backwater planet somewhere where maybe these guys are just sitting there waiting for the Republic Army to come around, and we have his blaster. Now, I think we've kind of gone through this before, but just in case we haven't, he does have antennas here. These on the backpack to give him extra power can come up. If I can get my fingers to bring them up. There we go. So we have that available there, or if you don't want him to have the backpack, really more of the original, what we would see in the Phantom Menace, where they didn't have the backpack for the extra power, then there they were. Now, whether you want to have the extra backpack on or not, I mean, it's all just for the fun of it anyways, so it really doesn't matter too much because, I mean, we're just in the world of pretend. But the other thing is on the inside in their brain case, the original ones did not have the extra kind of self-governance chip. That was really limited to the droid control ship. And then after that, then they kind of retrofitted pretty much all the other droids, unless they were on board that ship, to stay on board that ship to protect it. Everything, you know, they were upgraded to make sure that they wouldn't be able to fall prey to disrupting that signal and having them shut down. So with that, try not to take too much time, but it is fun finally getting through a bunch of these. I've had this box sitting here just waiting to get around to doing it. I don't have anything set up for today at the moment, so we'll get this for today, seeing that, you know, Saturdays are kind of fun days. Sometimes I'm getting some outdoorsy things, kind of prepper things or whatever. Sometimes it's just extra Lego sets or whatever else have you. It's fun. Finally getting a chance to get some of these all out and presented to you, as we have our droid kind of bazaar here. So with that, thank you for stopping by. Thanks for visiting. It's wonderful having you here. And hopefully you're having a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.